Yo, what's going on, boys? My name is Damien, also known as Qybiii. How's everyone going today? And yes, already know, hard 50 days in a row, streaming on Twitch, uploading a YouTube video, uploading a TikTok video, all that good stuff. All the information on that will be down in the description down below. Without wasting any more time, let's get straight into today's video. And obviously, we're talking about the red hot Houston Rockets. The Houston Rockets currently this season are definitely overachieving to some NBA standards, but I've seen this coming from a long time away. If you guys go back to October, I literally made a video about the Houston Rockets and saying why they have the best core in the entire NBA. By that I mean young core. It's arguably with OKC, but these guys are just too well put together, and OKC are kind of well cemented together. They didn't really grow together, if that makes sense. The Houston Rockets are currently just playing outstanding basketball. They're 26 wins and 12 losses so far in the 2024-25 regular season. And by some standards, they definitely are overachieving, but as I just said, I've seen this coming from a while away. So let's get into some stats and facts, what's leading to this, and what's the ceiling for this team. People will argue that their offense is really well flown, and their defense is average, but that's kind of not the issue right here. I mean, their offense is actually very bad statistical-wise. The only thing that's really up there is they average the 12th most points per game in the entire association. That's sitting at 111.3. But other than that, they're averaging the 4th worst shooting percentage inside the arc and the 3rd worst shooting percentage outside of the arc. We'll get into specific plays, what's causing those stats to be that low, but we'll focus on the team stats right now and move on to individual players afterwards. They're the 4th worst in the entire league in free throw percentage as well. Obviously, there's some specific guys that we'll dive into that's causing that number to be so low. And they're second to last in the entire association in assists per game, probably because this team is somewhat isolation heavy with Jalen Green and Van Fleet being an ISO player sometimes. But this is what makes this Houston Rockets team such a good young team. Their defense is absolutely outstanding, and that's led by no other than Amin Thompson. He's taken a massive defensive step so far this season, and he's showing wicked potential on that side of the floor. They only allow the third least points in the entire league. They only let their opponents score 103 points on average, which is pretty low. As I said in my last video, back in 2014, 15, whatever, that would have been very high. But in this day and age, the way the game has changed, that is a very good opposition score. They might shoot the worst from inside the paint, but their paint defense is actually really good considering to have no really big, well-known rim protectors. So when their opponents are inside the arc, they're only allowing them to shoot 43%. That is the second best in the entire association. They let their opponents shoot about 35%, which is right in the middle of the pack of the league. By having a young core and having promoted guys like Jalen Green, who's obviously not the best defender, that's going to just come with time, the improvement. Top 10 in blocks per game. Top 10 in steals per game, and they're first in the entire association in rebounds per game. And they don't have an active guy over 7 foot playing for them consistently. That's just crazy. And their defense is so well put together on the floor. Watching these guys play defense is you're always going to see him get stops. And it's just such a good thing to see. They're out rebounding, out hustling, out smarting the bigger, stronger, quicker teams, athletic teams, or whatever you want to call them. They're outsmarting everyone around them. And it's led by a few certain people. So let's dive into the player stats so far for this regular season and really put the pieces together on why this team's so great. Obviously, you got your cornerpiece of this entire team. If this guy wasn't here, there's no way the Rockets would be where they are right now. He should be an all-star this season as well. Of course, we are talking about Alperen Sengun. He's averaging a cool almost 20 points per game, 10 rebounds, and just under 6 assists. His passing aspect of his game is very underrated and unappreciated. Not many people really notice it unless you're a Rockets fan consistently watching them. He's shooting just under 50% clip from inside the arc, but I'm not going to lie, his 3-point shot has not been great this season whatsoever. He's shooting 21%. Ouch. That is bottom 10 worst in the entire league for anyone who averages over 2 per game, and he just averages over 2 per game at 2.1. But as you see, Jokic, Anthony Davis, a lot of other shooting big men in this league, even Yusuf Nurkic, they're all going to develop a jump shot and a feel for the 3-point line eventually. And what I'm liking so much about Alperen Sengun is really taking leadership into this role that Ime Udoka is actually giving him. He's taken on kind of the joint, this is my team kind of thing with Jalen Green as well. And obviously they both just got paid big bucks in the offseason, so you definitely love to see that. Speaking of Jalen Green, he's having career best start to his season so far, 21 points a game. On 4 rebounds and just under 3 assists. As I said at the start of the video, Jalen Green does not really pass the ball much. He's a heavy ISO player, but he knows how to get a bucket. He's just been showing out game after game this season, especially when the Rockets need him most. He came up big in the game against the Grizzlies. The only thing I could really give Jalen Green criticism for is his 3-point shot. He's shooting 33% on 8 attempts per game. He's shooting the 15th most threes in the entire league, and you'd think with someone who has such an amazing athletic ability to get to the rim whatever he wants, you'd like to see that number drop a bit more and try to get inside for those floaters / mid-ranges. But other than that, what I said about Alfred Şengün, he's taking like this joint leadership role on the chin, and it's just been great to see, as I said before as well, especially since they've both been paid. And then you got a point guard who's just so underappreciated as well. Van Fleet is the definition of get in, do your job, and get out. Yes, he's had a lot of altercations with the ref and some trouble with the NBA, but it's not stopping him from being an absolute hooper. So far this season, he's averaging just shy of 15 points and just under 7 assists per game. His shooting isn't the best. He's shooting 37% from inside the arc and only 31% from outside of the 3-point line. And he also is pretty much averaging 8 attempts per game as well from that arc. So eventually this Rockets team is going to get that offense sorted to where they can knock down a whole bunch of more threes. But for now, if it's not broke, don't fix it. And then you just got a massive great start to a sophomore year that you could ever ask for. I'm talking about Amin Thompson, ladies and gentlemen. He's averaging a cool 13 points, 7 rebounds, 1 steal, 1 block per game, but it feels like a lot more. This kid had a game against the Los Angeles Lakers where he grabbed 16 rebounds. Are you serious? And just he's been hitting double-digit rebound after double-digit rebound game in and game out. And when you have your shooting guard that can come on the floor and hustle and get those rebounds, blocks, and steals, you're looking at a taller version of Josh Hart. And if you're a Rockets fan, you want to keep him around for as long as you can. So you guys better pay this man for real. I heard someone say on someone's TikTok live that he has the potential to be one of the best, the greatest perimeter defenders of all time. And to be honest, if he keeps progressing at this level and how quickly he's rising up in his defensive game, I don't see that as a crazy take whatsoever. But for now, just cool down a little bit. He's just in his second year. You don't want that kind of attention to make the mainstreams because then he's going to start feeling pressure. And that's just not what you want to give to a second-year NBA player, you know. And you've got guys all over the shop that's averaging double-figure points for this team. You got Dylan Brooks averaging double figures. You got Jabari Smith Jr. averaging double figures. You have Tari Easton, who's also another great hustle player, averaging double figures. I mean, a lot of people question the Houston Rockets coming into the season, but the fact that they're heavily overstaffed, and I don't really disagree with that point, but they're making like good use of their players. Like Cam Whitmore has been in and out of the G League. Same with Reed Shepherd. But to be honest, with Reed Shepherd, he does not look NBA ready to me whatsoever. So I don't know what the Houston Rockets development program is going to do. In my opinion, they should just chuck him in the G League for the rest of the season and let him develop properly. Same with most rookies, strictly this draft class. Because obviously this draft class just hasn't been the greatest, and you want to see these guys develop properly so they can become great, impactful NBA players one day. And then you got the guys, like this is a heavy, like Ime Udoka could easily play 11 guys if he wanted to, easily. And you got guys like Steven Adams, Jock Landale, who'll literally come in at any time and it'll give you 120%. Those two big men, they can play defense, they can spread the floor a little bit. Not so much Adams, but Landale definitely can. And they can go give you a bucket, give you a defensive stop, get you a rebound, whatever you want. And they will just come in and happily do that, whether it be for 20 minutes or 5 minutes per game. And you got Jayshawn Tate, who can also come in and do his thing as well. Same with Aaron Holiday. Very underrated player. He plays the game beautifully. That's what I'm saying. The Rockets have 2 point guards that play the game just the way a point guard should, in Aaron Holiday and Fred VanVleet. You definitely love to see it. But I've been rambling for a minute now. So what's the ceiling for this Rockets team? In my opinion, they're definitely going to make the playoffs this year. We'll just see what this inexperienced team can do in the playoffs. If they can get past the first round, that's going to be a massive win for them, and that will definitely make them go chase some more talent in the offseason. Because I'm looking at the West right now, I don't see a clear favorite to win the Western Conference. Obviously, it would be OKC, right? But there's just so many other teams. It's the NBA. Any team can beat anyone any given night, and coach can definitely outplay another coach in a 7-game series. So we'll have to see what happens for real. Rockets fans, NBA fans, basketball fans, get in those comments down below and please let me know what you think about this video. I appreciate everyone's love and support. This is day 7 of day 50, hard 50 should I say. This has been your boy Qybii, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.